Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Allison. What are your names?
So my name is Aisha.
Aisha.
I'm Mike.
Mike. Nice to meet you both. And you are both married?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so who was the initiator? Who kind of made that decision to come to couples therapy today?
Not me.
Okay.
Well, I made that decision
Okay.
because we have some conflict at home.
Okay.
And that's regarding her sibling is stay with us at home, and that
Okay.
bother me somehow.
Okay.
And yeah, I told her that we need to find some way to, to solve this problem, but
Okay.
we couldn't find that way, so I seek help for therapy.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. So tell me a little bit more about the situation with, this is your sibling?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my brother, he's my twin brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been together since day one.
Mm-hmm.
He went through a nasty divorce recently.
Okay.
His wife cheated on him. It's pretty messy.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good situation at all. Somehow she managed to get, predominant custody of their kids. So I don't see my nieces and nephews that much. My poor brother, he's just like a mess,
Mm-hmm.
He's still working, but he's kind of barely hanging on, He's been like drinking a little bit, whatever. Well, anyway, when the divorce happened, she kept custody of the kids, she got the house, so he really had no place to go. And,
Mm-hmm.
He's my brother, I wanted to help him out, so I talked to Aisha about it, and she said it was okay if he moved in and stayed with us for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like we don't have space. We have 2 kids in a 4-bedroom house, and, so we had an extra bedroom. Thought, no big deal, it'll be okay if he moves in, and, yeah, there's been some road bumps. He's been here a little longer than we thought. Initially we thought it would maybe be a month or 2 till he gets his own place. It's been, what, 4 months, 5 months now?
Yeah.
But he's my brother, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't just kick him out.
Well, I agree with her. In the beginning I said, okay, he's in a situation that he needs our support and help, but we realize that he's being, angry at the house and make some stuff that we don't like it in the house, especially we have kids and we don't want the kids get some bad attitude at some point from adults. So I just want to manage that just because of my kids. Yeah, yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's okay. No worries. And also, I have, it's long time to stay at home, We can support him if he, take another apartment outside and he can go back and forth. Because
Okay.
it's like 6 months and my kids, start, to change their attitude. I'm worried about that a lot.
Okay.
And also, yeah, I was agreeing with her, but now I
Mhm.
think everything has been changed.
Okay. So what it sounds like is, you both were sort of in support of taking him in and kind of helping him get on his feet a little bit. That was obviously something you both kind of were compassionate and understanding and sensitive to the situation, but it just wasn't really clear how long it would be, or, it was speculated that it would only be a couple of months, but Aisha, you seem to be sort of, kind of becoming a little bit frustrated with how long it's been. And then you also mentioned, the impact that it might have on your kids, and you said their attitudes. So what I'm hearing you saying is that his presence might be, his kind of consistent presence might affect your kids' attitudes. Can you kind of go into that a little bit more? Kind of tell me a little bit more about what that means?
Well, I understand his situation now, but I think because of his situation, he's being angry so much, and he's
Okay.
like.
So he's sort of creating kind of like a negative space, sort of.
I
For
don't know.
my
I don't
kids,
really agree with
especially
that.
for my kids.
Okay.
And well, I see that. I know you can't see it because he's your brother, but I can see that.
I don't.
And also, sorry for interrupting you. And also, yeah. So there's some
Okay.
attitude problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like, I just don't know what you would, not you, but just anyone in general would expect. I mean, the man got cheated on. His wife left him. He doesn't have custody of his kids. He can only see them supervised on the weekends. You know, he works so hard. He's a construction foreman, makes good money, and most of it has to go to the person who cheated on him. You know, like, he's gonna be angry. He's gonna be in a bad mood. It's not like he yells at people. Like, I mean, yeah, he's maybe not the most positive person right now. He does talk about her, you know, negatively, his ex-wife and soon-to-be ex-wife. But, you know, I think it's like a little bit of a stretch to say it's affecting the kids. I mean, like, I don't see how it affects them. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I see this effect. I see this effect, and I told her to talk a little bit with her brother just to calm down. And if he's angry, just go outside the house. I don't want the kids seeing him that way. At least for 1 hour or 2 hours and come back or whatever.
Well, that's the
but
thing, though. It's like
supporting.
Like, you're supposed to, like, we're supposed to be supporting my brother. You know, he's your brother-in-law. It's like, you can't just tell someone who's angry and sad to go away. I mean, what if, like, for you and me, what if you and me, like, what if I was depressed? Would you tell me to go out of the house because I was sad? If you did, you know?
Well, I can support you, but not in front of my kids. I'm sure I'm gonna talk to you, just if you have that mood, just go away from my kids.
So Aisha, what I'm hearing you say is it sounds like you don't want, you know, his brother to kind of promote his emotions around your kids. Are you concerned that, you know, the kind of negative space he's in is going to, like, rub off on the kids, or that they're going to be uncomfortable? Is that sort of what you're kind of leaning towards?
Yeah, kind
of. Okay. Tell me a little bit more about kind of the family dynamics a little bit. You know, do you have any siblings, Aisha?
Yeah, I have one sibling.
Okay. Do you see them often, or?
Occasionally, since they, you know, live in other states.
Okay. So who would you say, you know, among the two of you is probably, like, the closest with your overall family? Would you?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, I know that you know, you're obviously very supportive of your brother. Do you know, are you close with your parents? Do you have other siblings that you're kind of in contact with, or?
Me or
yeah.
her? Yeah, I mean, my parents, my dad isn't doing too well. He's sick. I mean, he's not, like, gonna croak or anything, but, you know, he has diabetes and he has heart problems, so he's, you know, my mom takes care of him a lot, our mom. We have a sister, she lives in New York, so she's not around to help out with either our parents or with my brother, you know. She said that our brother could go live with her, but, I mean, he has to leave his job and he makes good money, so no way is he gonna, like, uproot his life and move a couple 100 miles to New York, you know, not an option, and he wouldn't be able to see his kids. So, I mean, yeah, like, there's really not anyone that's close enough. I mean, my brother has friends, but, like, you know, he's obviously ashamed about the situation he's in. He's ashamed that he got cheated on. He doesn't want everyone knowing his business. So if he can stay with family, you know, and, like, keep it personal, that way, like, you know, he doesn't have to feel so embarrassed about life right now, you know. And, like, I get it, he's been here a little too long, but, I mean, I can't just kick him out. I just can't.
Sounds like you care very deeply about your brother.
Yeah, I do.
Tell me a little bit more about where that comes from. And not just me, but kind of maybe tell Aisha too.
Okay.
If you know, maybe that's something that maybe you haven't shared. Is that something that you've shared with her in terms of, like, just your overall relationship with your brother? Have you ever gone into that with Aisha?
Sort of.
Why don't you kind of share that part of it a little bit and sort of express where that comes from?
Well, I mean, we were just, it's hard to understand if you're not a twin, you know, it's hard to understand, like, you know, I'm technically the older one by, like, 5 minutes, you know. I've always protected him, you know. I mean, when we were little kids, I was the one that got bullied, and he would protect me, even though I was technically older. You know, I used to get picked on a lot, and he would stand up for me. One time he even beat a kid up who had kept taking my lunch money, and you know, the kid never touched me again after that happened. Our parents weren't happy, but I felt like I was on top of the world. Like,
You felt
I had
safe?
this person who defended me. So it's just, you know, it's hard because like that's how we grew up. And high school came, and you know, we'd always be getting each other out of trouble. You know, he'd get in trouble and I would get him out of it, and vice versa. You know, we've always just had each other's backs, and you know, he was supportive when I married Aisha. He wasn't sure at the time. I think he had, you know, he didn't think I was really interested in getting married in Aisha, and I got married really quick. You know, we got together and then 6 months later we were married. You know, a lot of other people weren't supportive of that, but he was. He was always like, oh, Aisha's great, I love her, she's really good for you. You know, so he was supportive, like, so he's had all these moments in my life of just being there for me. And there haven't been too many times since we were kids where I've needed to take care of him. It's like, I just want to provide that place where like he doesn't have to feel like he has to go away when he's angry, or that he has to hold in what he's feeling. You know, like, I just want it to be a safe place for him, that's all.
So it sounds like, you know, for pretty much the majority of your childhood and adulthood, you know, this person has been kind of your caretaker, your protector, and, you know, what I'm hearing is that you're in a place right now where you want to kind of flip the switch a little bit. You want to be that caretaker, you want to be that provider. You feel as though you owe that to him.
Yeah, I do.
And he's created kind of that sense of safety for you, that sense of comfort, that sense of protection. Tell me, do you two feel that way with one another? If anyone wants to speak on that? The need to care for and protect?
I think she's more concerned with protecting our kids than she is about me.
Okay.
To be honest.
Well, I understand her concern about her brother, and I understand her emotion and feelings about her brother, and I understand the words that she described her brother, but you know, sometimes I want him to talk to him at some point, just, you know, about how he attitude at home. I didn't ask for much. I just want her to talk to him to talk to her, to him. I mean, you know. So if she just talks to him, maybe something gonna change at least.
Okay. And what would you like him to say to him?
Well, anything, just regarding his attitude.
Okay.
If she see like any other, you know, kind of words that she wants to explain to his brother about the situation, that would be perfect.
Okay. So it sounds like what you're
until he's find another apartment or something like that.
Okay.
At least, you know, some change in these subjects.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that, you know, where we're kind of seeing the crossroads here is that, you know, you sort of would like to see kind of like a change in his attitude and kind of like his demeanor and presence, like, or kind of around the house in front of the kids, and not so much moving out. So you don't necessarily want him to move out right now. Is that what you're saying? If he just kind of changed
Well, we're gonna take it step by step.
Okay.
So change,
That's
and
important,
then
very important.
yeah.
Okay.
So if he change at least the next 2 months, and then by away for him until he finish his problem with his ex-wife, that would be perfect. At least some change in the house, you know.
Okay. And Aisha, tell me a little bit more. Is there a relationship with his brother? For you, do you kind of have a rapport with him? Do you ever speak with him? I mean, I heard, you know,
Yeah,
I heard you say,
relationship with
I
him.
heard you say that, you know, that before you guys got married, that he was very supportive, he loved Aisha, and so tell me a little bit more about the relationship with him.
Well, we have a strong relationship.
Mhm.
I mean, I have some respect. I have respect for him, and you know. But sometimes, you know, I work hard just to raise those 2 children in a good way. I just really work hard for that situation. I just don't want to them to see some attitude that we don't present it in front of them.
Okay.
So my main concern is that if they grow up with the same situation, I just want him to be healthy.
So you want him to kind of model
model
a sort
his
of
attitude.
expected, so yeah, so what you're saying is you kind of, want him to model like kind of a certain way of life, a certain attitude that your kids can kind of
Yeah.
essentially, you know,
Well,
pick up
Yeah, and I
on.
understand his point, I understand his emotion,
Okay.
but we need to speak up.
Well, I feel like I am modeling that for them because to me, family values is helping someone out when they're having a hard time, even if it's not comfortable for everybody. You know, I don't mean he's gonna live with us for the rest of our lives, but I do mean like, what kind of example are we setting for our children if, you know, I'm asking my brother to go outside when he's angry, or if I'm saying you need to find an apartment during the toughest time of his life. Like the example I want to set for our kids is that people go through hard times, you can't hide all the emotions, you can't hide every dirty little secret. You know, I mean our kids don't know about why he's living with us, it's just Uncle Jamie's living with us for a while. I mean, our kids are starting to get they're older, you know, our oldest is 7 and she's asking questions, like she's asking like, why doesn't Uncle Jamie live with Aunt Anna anymore and all this, so it's like, you know, there's some awareness on her part, but you know, I want them to see that I care about my brother, and I want them to see that we help family out when they need it. And like, I mean, I guess I would see more what you were saying if when he got angry he was like swearing or breaking things. I mean, I wouldn't want that around a kid either, but mostly he'll just have like adult conversations with like me or with you or whatever, and the kids will be playing in the other room. I mean,
No, sometimes they are with us, sometimes they see him when he calling the phone and, you know, being angry or
what do you
calling
mean,
with
like talking to
us.
his ex-wife, talking to...
Yeah, so he shows some anger in front of them, I just doesn't want them, you know, find that, you know, that's
I
why.
don't know, I mean,
I'm confused too.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Well, that's why
don't
we're
see it
here.
as big of a deal. I need a break for a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go take a bathroom break. I'm getting a little frustrated.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Feel free to take a break, Aisha, as well, and then we'll, you know, I would talk to you one-on-one, but I would like him to kind of, I think,
Okay.
be included, and then maybe, you know, at some point we can kind of separate, and I can talk to you both one-on-one, but I'll wait until he comes back so that he's in the loop.
Sure.
Great. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, it is. It was cold yesterday,
It was, I know.
but today is like a little bit warm. The good thing there's no snow.
Oh, I know. Not quite ready for that.
When do you think it's gonna start? When it's usually November? The
Mm,
end of
could be,
November?
yeah. End of November, early December.
Oh, great, so
Yeah.
we have
Plenty of
time.
time.
any other classes other than practicum?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any other classes other than practicum?
Not right now, no. In the
Okay.
fall I will. Mhm.
Did you find internship yet?
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah. Did you?
Where did you find it?
Seacoast Academy in Revere. It's an alternative school.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It is near my house.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Medford.
Oh, okay.
Do you live where?
Melrose, which is like
Oh.
right up the street. I grew up in Revere too, so.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And is it high school or middle school or high?
Middle school.
Middle school.
Mhm.
And they accept year or each semester they accept new entrants?
I don't really know how it works, to be honest. I think every semester.
Where did you find it? Where did you contact
Through my
with them?
mom. Through my mom. My mom works there.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for internship. I didn't find
Mm,
anything.
it's hard. It's really hard.
Do you think if they can accept more interns?
I
I
can
apply
find out.
there?
We can find out.
I mean,
Welcome back.
Hi.
Thanks. Actually, Mike, oh, sorry, Jamie just called me while I was
Oh,
in
yeah?
the bathroom, or just started texting me. Phones nowadays, I don't even know what to call, text, whatever. Snapchat.
Everything going okay?
Yeah, I guess so. He just told me that, he heard from the judge in in their divorce proceeding, and,
Mhm.
apparently Anna, huge bitch, is trying to get full legal custody of the kids.
Sounds like you have some pretty strong feelings about Hannah, or Anna, did you say?
Anna.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I liked her. I was fine with her until she cheated on him.
I
Not-
imagine
not
that was
only did
kinda.
she cheat on him, but she continued to cheat on him even after he knew about it, and she refused to stop. People make mistakes, but then when you make a mistake, you know it's a mistake, and you keep doing that mistake, and then now you're the one taking his house away and his kids away. I mean,
And how's the judgment? Did they gonna accept that?
we have to go, he has to go to court, you know, obviously I'll be there to support him.
Oh, I feel sorry for him.
But it's just, it's hard, you know, it's hard, like, he doesn't deserve to have his kids taken away.
Absolutely.
Already, she has like the, partial custody, and he gets to see them on the weekends. It's already hard enough for him as it is. He's a family man, my brother. He loves our kids, you know, he always plays with them and stuff. That's in some ways why it's good having him around the house, and why I'm not like rushing to get him out of there, you know?
Yeah.
You and I get to spend more time together 'cause he's around, like.
So what he contributes, it sounds like, right now, as you said, like, while he's kind of struggling to get on his feet, it sounds like a big thing that he contributes is kind of that love for your kids, and that seems to mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
It seems, and I'm sure it means a lot for your kids as well. Would that
Yeah.
sound accurate? Do you think that, your kids respond well to him and kind of, and I know that you mentioned that sometimes when he's in a negative space, it might, negatively kind of affect them. But do you see, any kind of positive repercussions of the interactions that
Well,
he has with
my
your
kids
kids?
love him.
Mhm.
They love him so much, and they just, like to play with them, and they attach with him so
Mhm.
much. And this is attachment. I just want him to attach in something like really good, and then I just want them to get a good things from him, since they are really attached to him. So yeah, our kids is loving him so much.
Hey, that's great.
This is my concern, that because they love him, maybe they're gonna get all the attitude for him. I just want him to be good in front of them.
Okay. Well, so, and what I'm hearing you say is, as we kind of touched upon before, it sounds like, the ability to model appropriate and positive behavior means a lot to you. And what it sounds like, I haven't heard anything negative in regards to kind of, the behavior that you model for your kids. I mean, what would you say, what kind of behavior does he model for your children, since that seems to mean a lot to you? Like, why don't you look at him and kind of tell him and me something.
To my husband or to
Yeah,
my
to your husband, yeah. Sort of let him know, like, because clearly he's doing something correct if, in terms of like his relationship with your kids and, So why don't you kind of tell me a little bit about that, since that seems to be important to you, so sort of the need to kind of promote a positive kind of demeanor and a positive attitude, positive ideals and morals. Why don't you go into that a little bit, sort of stepping away from, you know, Jamie a little bit. Let's focus on
his attitude.
Mhm.
Okay, so I like how he supports his brothers. So then my kids learn how to support each other, since the dad
Very
always
important.
doing that for his family. I like how how the respect and the attitude going on between him and his brother, which affected my kids. So then they have the same attitude, which is yes for them as brothers. I like how they supportive for each other, which is important for my kids to be supportive to each other as well. Yeah, but sometimes something like
You never told me this
accidentally-
stuff before, like, you've never told me this before, so, like, here I am, like, you drag me to therapy, and, like, here I am thinking you just, like, hate the fact that my brother's around, and that you're, like, blaming me, but, like, you're saying all this good stuff, it's like, is that really
I think
true?
there's good stuff about you.
Yeah, no, I know, I'm just saying, like, you never said that before, I didn't know you felt that way.
Well, how did that make you feel? How did that make you feel hearing that?
Like, good, like, it felt good, because, I mean, Aisha doesn't, like, say negative stuff about me, but she's not, like, complimenting me very often, or, like, you know, especially with the Jamie situation, she hasn't said anything good about it in a really long time. Like, even when he moved in with us, she never said, like, this might be tough for us as a family, but I'm happy you're taking care of your brother, or anything
Well,
to
I
say.
take care of your brother all the time. I just cook, clean up, everything. I do the housework
No,
for
I-
you and for your
yeah.
brother. So I was supportive also for your brother as well.
I know, but it was important, like, I don't know, maybe I didn't know how important it was till I didn't hear it, but I don't know, I guess I don't know, never
Yeah,
mind, stupid.
No, I mean, your feelings matter. Everyone's feelings in this room completely matter, and nothing is stupid, nothing is everything that we want to say there's meaning to it, there's substance to it, so I want everybody to feel free to completely be open. So what I hear you saying is that it sounds as though, you weren't really receiving any kind of positive reinforcement for, the role that you're playing in the house. Like, it would have been nice, and you can completely correct me if I'm wrong or if it's inaccurate. I mean, it sounds like you two sort of go about your roles, and you're very accepting of each other, and I think that you what is that?
I'm just figure out how long the video is.
28.
28? That's still recording, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
still
okay,
recording.
good.
Yes, still recording.
So it sounds like you're both pretty enmeshed in your roles, and it sounds like it's working for the most part. It just sounds like there's not a lot of reinforcement for kind of the correct things that you're doing. And from what it sounds like, I mean, Aisha is saying that she's the caretaker, she's, that she does a lot for your brother, and obviously you do a lot for your brother. So what I'm looking at here is a relationship of two people who are very caring, who care very deeply about the people in their lives, who, obviously want to promote a sense of, positivity and happiness in their children, and just kind of be a positive example. So I'm seeing a lot of pretty interesting similarities here.
I guess it's a good way of putting it, I never really thought about that before.
It sounds like, right, I mean, it sounds as though you both have that need to care for and protect, and and I think that you're both pretty well established in those roles, and I think that, I mean, would you say that that's kind of one of the things that drew you to each other when you first met? Sort of, like, what kind of aspects of both of your personalities sort of drew you to one another? Was it that kind of sense of wanting to take care of others and that sense of wanting to kind of take on certain situations that...
I mean, there's lots of things that drew me to her. Like, we met online, and, you know, it was just, I could tell even through, like, the website that, like, she was a caring person, and that family was a big, you know, priority for her, and, you know, we both like the same kind of movies, like weird documentaries and stuff, and we had a lot in common, and our personalities are the same. I mean, our goals are a little different. We're both a little traditional, you know, I work and she stays home, and, you know, I mean, we both kind of wanted that from the beginning, and we fell in love really fast and decided to get married really fast, and, you know, if I had to do it all over again 10 years later, I would still do it, you know, like, I love her very much. I do feel supported by her. It's just this situation has caused a problem in our relationship because, you know, I feel the need to put my brother first right now and take care of him. I mean, like, I get what she's saying. I guess I could see myself maybe having a chat with him, my brother, and being like, you know, listen, when you're having a bad day and you're upset about some things, you know, take a breather or try not to say certain things around the kids. I mean, I don't think that would be a big deal.
Okay, how do you feel about that, Aisha? Do you have any kind of response to that?
To what she said? Yeah, well, she can talk to him as what she said.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind, like, you know, he and I can go out for a beer or something, and I can just say, hey, listen, so sometimes when you're on the phone with Anna, you get upset and you're swearing in front of the kids, and it'd be great if you could not do that. I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine with that. I mean, he doesn't want to cause any problems with the kids or anything. I'm sure he doesn't even realize it.
Yeah, as well as I don't want to hurt his feelings too.
Well, I'm not going to say it came out of your mouth. I'll say it to him. Trust me, it would come across better if I said it.
Yeah, but I mean, when you say that, just say that in a good, I mean, in a respectful way. Because I don't want him to, you know, to feel somehow that we don't want him at house.
I mean, of course I'm going to say it respectfully, but isn't the reality that you don't really want him in the house? I mean...
Well, I don't want him to show that anger in the house. I just don't want that attitude be in the house like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sounds like we came to a, you know, kind of a little bit of a good compromise there. I mean, what do you think will, so, I'm just kind of going to pitch this question to you both. I mean, if you could, you know, let's say that you went ahead and had this conversation with your brother, maybe right after this session or tomorrow, how would you know that kind of the problem was fixed? What would the whole scenario sort of look like, where you would know, okay, like, I'm kind of a little bit more satisfied with this situation, I feel better about it. Tell me kind of what that expected, kind of ideal scenario would look like.
Well, if she's gonna talk to him and he will not swear or do stuff in front of my kids, I think the problem is fixed.
Okay.
I think if, you know, give him more time just, you know, to take his life suitable, I think.
Yeah,
that's what
I guess. I mean,
yeah.
My biggest concern is just I don't want, he's so, like, sensitive sometimes, and I don't want him to feel like, I mean, he's not going to get mad at me for talking to him or anything, but I do think he's going to feel hurt. I think he's going to feel like he's done something wrong, you know. It's just, he's in such a bad place right now that I worry that, like, I could just push him over the edge just a little bit, you know. I don't want to be responsible for that.
I think you should talk to him after the court situation done. Because if you're going to talk with him now about that, since he has, like,
He's got a lot on his mind already.
Yeah, so...
But the court date's not going to be for 2 months, and...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
So we do probably have to talk sooner.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you have any ideas as to, like, how I can talk to him, and, like, I know, like, you're not here to tell me what to do, but to be honest, I'm kind of at a loss. Like, he and I communicate in our own way. Like, I've always been the more emotional, talkative type, whatever, out of the two of us, but I feel like I'm like clammed up right now, like I don't know what
Okay.
what
Well,
I could say to him.
Okay, well, I think that we can kind of visit that question. Like I said, you know, obviously, I'm not going to be able to give you the ideal, you know, necessarily the correct answer, but I think that I can kind of help you come up with that answer on your own. So I think my first question, in sort of exploring that a little bit with you, is when was the last time and what was the content of that time in which you kind of sat him down and talked about anything that involved you giving him some kind of constructive criticism? Like, I mean, because what it sounds like is, you know, you two get along, and I'm sure you have numerous conversations that are probably lighthearted and easygoing. Can you recall a time in which you two sat down and you were kind of able to give him some sort of constructive feedback or criticism, what that felt like, what his response was? And that's a pretty loaded question, so kind of feel free to, you know, think about it, but...
Alright, give me a minute.
Absolutely.
Think about that a little bit.
Absolutely, like I said, it's
right,
a lot
it is
there.
kind of a big question.
Absolutely.
Well, after Anna cheated on Jamie, I mean, he was a mess. Like, he was totally distraught. This is before they tried to, like, patch things up, and she, you know, they ended up deciding to divorce and move out. This was while they were still trying to make it work. He had just found out that she cheated, and he came to me, obviously, you know, we're close. He came to me, and he basically wanted revenge. Like, he wanted to go out and find someone else for himself and, like, throw it in her face. He wanted to make her life a living hell. I mean, please don't repeat this, but he would talk about, like, oh, I want to let go / retire. You know, I don't think he would really do it. But when you're in that situation and someone's violated your trust so much that, like, he was really angry, and, like, he was just saying all this crazy stuff that you can't go out and do, you know? And he would say these things, and I sat him down and I was like, listen, I was like, it's not worth it. Keep your eye on the goal, which is your kids, you know? You're gonna have to let this person, Anna, who doesn't care about you, you're gonna have to let your wife dig her own grave. You know, you can't dig that for her or put her in it. You have to focus on the kids, you know, just focus on the situation and being the best parent you can be, no matter what she throws your way. And he didn't take it the best during that conversation. He's like, oh, you're always telling me what to do. But we're brothers, we talk like that, you know. And then the next day, we went out for beers again. He's like, you know what, I thought about what you said, and you're right. And, you know, he gave me a big hug and whatever, and it was okay. But so it kind of took him thinking about it for a day or two to get him to really understand the importance of doing the right thing.
And how did you know that he understood the importance? As a, you know, I'm sure that he, you know, thanked you for the advice and kind of maybe appeared as though he took the information in and understood, but tell me about his behavior and his actions after that conversation. Did you see a change?
Yeah.
Did you see a
like,
change
I
in
mean,
kind of attitude or?
Attitude, not as much. A little bit, but not a ton. I mean,
but nothing was done on
no,
his part.
I honestly, I mean, I'm not sure whether he would have done something like slash her tires or like, you know, mess up her house or something like that.
Right.
Go in and take stuff that was his own of value, so she wouldn't be able to claim it in the divorce. Just kind of, he wanted revenge. Like, he wanted to get a private investigator, follow her, you know, so that he could prove she was cheating. All these different things. And after that talk, he didn't talk about that stuff anymore. He just kind of, like, let it go a little more. He's still angry, like, excuse me, he would still say stuff about her, like, really bad stuff about her to me, to Aisha sometimes, but he would never, like, you know, after that situation, he never like, made any more, I don't wanna say threats, cause I don't think it was really a threat, but he
Mhm.
never suggested, you know, something else ever again, so.
Mhm. And I remember at the beginning of our session, you were saying before how, you know, you two have always kind of had that bond, and I feel like that bond has been maintained by sort of that ability to kind of communicate with one another. And from what it sounds like, you know, many things, and this could be, you know, this could be among the two of you, that I'm sure that certain forms of communication and certain things that you kind of shared with each other over the years have resonated well. I mean, does it sound accurate to say that you two have kind of been able to sort of exchange advice back and forth, and you've always had that relationship in which you're able to kind of communicate well and kind
Pretty
of
much.
take each other's, that's great.
I would say so.
So it sounds like, you know, and again, we don't know for sure, I mean, as you said, it doesn't sound like his, you know, I know you didn't wanna say the word threat, but it doesn't sound like some of the language that he was using was really consistent with a real threat. It sounds like something that he was just kind of maybe
Yeah, he was
saying
mad,
kind of in the heat of the moment, being angry, but still, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like your advice and your, you know, your sort of, the step that you took to kind of just sit there and talk with him about everything that he was feeling really kind of resonated with him, and it,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that he took something away from that.
Okay.
And that sounds, so from, based on that, I mean, it sounds like you already have kind of the skills to kind of initiate a conversation with him that.
Yeah, I guess I do. That makes sense. I guess I just didn't want to add anything else to his plate, but at the same time, all of that stuff is on our plate now, and it shouldn't be. So I do need to have that conversation, like, he does need to take responsibility. And I still don't agree with Aisha that that the negative energy's rubbing off on our kids, but I respect that, and I do think that it'll help him if he's less angry. So I'm gonna approach it from that angle. I don't want him to feel guilty. I'm not gonna talk about the kids. I'm basically just gonna say, hey, listen, like, I noticed you're still really angry a lot, and, you know, I wanna help you work through it and stuff, and it's affecting us, like, whatever, but I don't wanna make him feel like he's hurting his nieces and nephews, you know, so I'm gonna kind of soft blow, you know,
Right, it
soft
sounds like you're gonna be
conversation.
very delicate about the way
Yeah.
that you approach the situation.
Cause he doesn't need to feel extra guilty about anything right now, you know.
Well, it sounds like, and I mean, based on you saying that and you kind of mapping out, kind of already anticipating the language that you're gonna use, the things that you're gonna include, the things that you're gonna leave out. I mean, and like I said a couple of minutes ago, it sounds like you're kind of prepared to have this conversation with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you realized it before, but, you know.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Any thoughts to that, Aisha?
No, since she's gonna talk to his brother, I think that's pretty much. We're gonna go from there after. We will see what we're gonna happen, and then we're gonna come back again in other session.
Great.
If there is any other changes.
That's
Any
great. I look
negative
forward
points,
to.
yeah.
That's very great. Well, it was excellent, a pleasure meeting you both. I appreciate everything, and I look forward to kind of seeing, you know, sort of the outcome of you guys meeting these goals. I mean, it sounds like you're both very motivated to meet those goals before our next session, and I'm very interested to hear how that goes. So.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
Okay, thank you so much for helping.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Thank you.